All right. So we are in the chapter 9, and this speaks about, he calls this chapter, Krishna calls this chapter as Rajaguhya Raja Vidya Yoga, the deepest, profoundest secret of living, you can say, spiritual life, whatever we call it. But he says it's a king of all knowledges, and it's a profound secret. Why he calls it as Guhya or secret or mysterious is it is not accessible for an ordinary person. Ordinary person means person who thinks at a average level, you can say. Whether he's there are different categories of people in this society. Each one has his own level of evolution. So depending on that, he thinks. If a handful of people are there who want to transcend all this and reach the highest state, which would take them to much higher level of evolution, which would give them lot of happiness and bliss. It goes much beyond their imagination. Secondly, that would in turn help them to help the people around, help the society. So the I should say the key word in Bhagavad Gita, and which fascinates me like anything, is Dharmyamritam. Last time we discussed Dharma and Amrita. Amritatva is reaching our immortality or reaching a state of liberation. That is our ultimate goal. The other thing, other byproduct, no, I wouldn't say byproduct, other advantage is how such a personality will be useful to the society. So when a person has this objective in mind, for him it is accessible. Otherwise, it is deep seated knowledge which is not easily accessible. Therefore, Krishna always tells people who are eligible are those who are pure hearted, pure minded, because this is something which uh, gives them an extra mile in the world, in the worldly affairs also. This consciousness, this awareness of this consciousness is going to take them at much higher level, which an ordinary person will not be able to reach. Therefore, he says it is Raja Guhya, Raja Vidya Yoga. We have discussed, and Krishna says in the last two verses that people who do not recognize me as a representative of the Parabrahman, they are considered to be of Asuri Buddhi, or people who are not going to be useful to the community or whatever. So, Asuri Buddhi. On the contrary, Mahatmanastu says, Mahatma people, those who are great people, these are Daivi Prakritim. They are in the divine Maya, but still they always think about higher things. They think about me. Krishna represents the higher things. So anything that is higher can be considered as Krishna consciousness. So he says, those who always think about me, how do they do? They bhajanti, they do kirtan, they worship me. And still others, they may not worship, they may not do kirtan, but they are always clear, and they have this knowledge that everything is consciousness. I am actually, my true nature is I am Parabrahman, I am the consciousness, and everything else is just an illusion. I mean, it is not I should say, we cannot deny it's not a false thing, but definitely it is not the ultimate truth. It is a lower truth. So therefore, he says some people they worship me as jnana yajna. Those who they understand, they get the knowledge, because everybody need not be doing pujas, rituals, and all that, bhajans, kirtans, chanting. It's not. It doesn't suit everybody. So people who have this tendency to do bhakti, express bhakti, do in one manner. People who have the ability of self inquiry and finding their path on their own. So these are the people who do jnana yajna, and they see ekatvena pratatvena bahudha vishwato mukham. They see oneness. Today also we are continuing with that. Ekatvena pratatvena. They will see that there is unity in diversity. Krishna conscious or super consciousness or whatever you call it, it is all one. It is pervading everything. We are all strung as pearls in a, in a garland, but we appear to be different. They appear as different, but actually they are one. So these jnanis, the people who get this knowledge, who are striving for this knowledge and who attain this knowledge by their efforts, they see oneness, and they see diversity also. And then they also see that we can worship God in any form, and God is in multiple forms. In other words, whatever we see in this world, it is Him. It is that consciousness which has pervaded. Now he continues in the 16th way. Actually, I wrote as 18th. We left at 15th. Aham kratu aham yajnah swadhaham ahamaushadham mantroham ahame vajyam ahamagniraham hutam. So when Bhagavad Gita was told, that was the age of Vedic rituals. All right, we don't perform so many sacrifices, yajnas, and all that. So, if a person is performing a yajna or a sacrifice, Vedic sacrifice, he says, I am the kratu. That means I am actually the sacrifice. I am the yajna. Yajna and kratu are similar, but one yajna is considered worship. I am the swadha. Swaha, swadha is a mantra. That is the chant. That is whatever is told. And I am the aushadha, medicine. I am the mantra, again, him. I am the ajya, that means the ghee which is being poured there. I am the fire, and I am the oblation. Aham agnihi, aham hutam. In the sacrifice, what they do is they create a small cubicle of bricks, and then they burn some, fuel is there, sticks and all that. They pour ghee over that, and they chant mantras in order to evoke the gods and goddesses. Deva Devatas, they are called. This ritual comes under what is called Karma Kanda. Today he is going to go ahead with this. So if you perform, actually, the Vedas have got Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda is all ritualistic. Jnana Kanda is about realization. And Krishna emphasizes, rather than focusing on these rituals, focus on your identity, your realization, your knowledge. So here he says, nevertheless, if at all you are performing the yajna, if at all you are performing the yajna, the sacrifice, then in that also understand, I am that fire, I am the oblation. Because what we do is, we have lot of material to be given as ahuti, oblation, into the fire. That is understood, that we chant mantras, we invoke the devatas, and we keep chanting mantras and saying for what purpose it has been done, and we give offering. That offering could be so many things which gets burnt in that fire of sacrifice. So we give our food, rice, then lot of sweets and eateries, and sometimes clothes, everything. That means whatever we have, we use, we eat, is being offered there with the chanting of mantras, by calling some great sages and calling people around and declaring, taking some vows. It's a very sacred thing. That Vedic ritual cannot be condemned. But Krishna is saying, in that ritual, whoever is chanting is me. The sacrifice is me. Whatever is offering is me. The mantra is me. The entire process, every bit of this process is me. You find me in every process. Today we are not doing those rituals. We are doing this Bhagavad Gita session. The reading is him. The words are his. He lives in those words. He lives in my words. He is living in my words. He is living in what you are listening to, what you are processing, what you are thinking, how you are going to act. In each and every process, if you break it, you will find, he says, I am there. I am applying to what we are doing today and what is happening. If we take a session with the students, let's say, the knowledge is him, the words are his, he is in us, he is in our words, the students are listening, that process is him. So he's telling that I am pervading into entire process of whatever actions you are undertaking. So it is only up to us that we must remember this. We must remember that he is pervading each and everything. This makes us uh, go into an egoless state. Remembering God and trusting God is the only way to reduce our ego. Most of the mistakes, most of the sins, most of the bad karmas that we do are nothing but a resultant of the ego. Ego is the cause, and effect is our mistakes. We tend to rectify them, we tend to apologize, whatever. But if we take care, to some extent, even if you don't remember God, if you reflect on yourself, you can correct yourself. But the long again, you tend to commit the same mistakes. Therefore, remembering Him in every aspect of whatever we do is a foolproof system to reduce our ego. And all that we want is to be grounded so that we commit less mistakes and we are more productive and we have less baggage ultimately. Therefore, he is telling us, if you remember, similar sloka was there in the fourth chapter. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam. Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. Brahma Karma Samadhina. Says Brahmarpana. Whatever we do in the sacrifice, the person who is doing is Brahmarpanam. Whatever we are offering is Brahma. Brahma, Arpanam Brahma, Havihi Brahma, Hutam Brahma, and Brahmaiva Tena, it goes to Brahma. Hutam is whatever you are offering. And Arpana is Brahma. The sense of offering is him, and everything goes to Brahma Karma Samadhina. So this is the meaning of this shloka. In another, he has told the same in another, in a different way. Aham kratu, aham yajnah, swadha aham aushadham, mantroham, ahame vajyam, aham agnihi, aham putam. So similar things he has told. So therefore, everything is because of me. We have seen that how he says, I am pervading, I am the sustainer, I am there in each and every bit of this world. Only that's why this is a secret thing. Only people who have faith will understand this. And he has also told Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva, in another shloka is told, everything is Vasudeva. We must try to remember that. So whatever action we are doing, no, even watching a movie, watching a TV, if you can remember him all through, this is his projection. Some people are thinking, they're projecting, they're directing. I tell this because I always keep watching TV shows and all that. If we remember him and bring that consciousness in whatever we do, then nothing is prohibited. Basically nothing is prohibited, nothing is wrong, as long as you're able to meditate, as long as we're able to understand that everything is his, everything, each and everything is his. So in other another explanation given by Swami Ranganathananji is that different forms, there's matter and that gets converted into energy, and that energy creates another matter. For example, even if you take water, simple water, when you heat it, it becomes a water vapor. Water vapor when condenses becomes water again. So if you see physics also, there is no change in the total energy or total matter. It's only change in the form. It's only change in the form. We all are like this. We are probably, if we think we are little better than others because we have developed a liking for spiritual things, that's an evolution. So it's an evolution. Somebody else will take some and somebody else, this is an evolution, modification of prakriti. Somebody else is also modification, but in another form. So there are different forms in the essence. There are different forms, but everything all put together, it is the same matter getting converted into different forms. And this, let's say tamasic becomes rajasic, person I'm talking, personality wise, less evolved, better evolved, best evolved, then he goes to moksha, then that's gone. Then whatever remaining, he may take birth again, or once he gets moksha, he will not take birth. Next cycle of creation he may take, that depends, of course. But otherwise everything, no, lower animals becoming higher animals. So basically Krishna is saying that whether good or bad, whatever good or bad, please take my words, because next shlokas we are going to discuss these concepts only. Whatever it is, he is there, he is pervading this way or that way, this form or that form, lower or higher. But in higher, better manifestations, who are manifesting better qualities, if you think, he is shining more, reflecting more, because that person's efforts are more. He is making a better choice from his own mental capacity. But otherwise, God, he pervades good, bad, ugly, everything. Everywhere he is there. Everywhere it is his. We never say evil is not God. In this Vedantic perspective, good and evil, both he is there. So he pervades everything. Next he says, पिताहमस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार ऋक्सामयजुरेव च. In the previous shloka, he talked about yajna. Now he's talking about relationships and the knowledge. We talked about the Vedas as a operations, means performance process. Now he says, first statement says, I am the father of this world. I am the mother. I am the sustainer. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata. Dhata means sustainer. Then pitamaha. I am the grandfather. Vedyam. I am the one thing to be known. I am the thing to be known. We are all struggling to understand physics, chemistry, biology, pharmacology, pathology, everything. But ultimately, I am the one to be known. Right? I'll tell you a little more about that. And Pavitram, I am the purifier or the pure thing, purest thing. Pavitram Omkaraha, the pure Om or the purifier and Om, both ways we can take. I am also the Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Ejur Veda, all the three Vedas. Ayurveda came later. So it's part of this and then it got separated. So he says, I am the Vedas. You're talking about Vedas? I am the one. Vedas prescribe the rituals. I am the Yajna. So he wants people to understand that he is the originator. From where did the Vedas come? From the Brahma, not Parabrahman. Parabrahman created Brahma through Vishnu's. We have seen that in Bhagavad. Or just think that there is Chaturmukha Brahma. He, from his contemplation came the Vedas actually, and they got transmitted. Veda Vyasa arranged them, segregated them. So I am the Vedas. It has come from me. Whatever you're talking, I am there. Rituals, I am there. Why he says this? There's a meaning in the next, I think, after two shlokas. So I am the Vedas. I am the rituals. I am every process. Now he says, I am the father. I am the grandfather. I am the mother. And I am all the Vedas. So two things he has brought out. If you talk about the process, I am there. He said in the previous shloka. If you talk about the knowledge, I am the one who is giving that knowledge through Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, all those. And relationship, I am the father. Why he is the father? Who is the first creator? Brahma. Who created Brahma? He created. So he created him. And then from Brahma came these Prajapatis. Then Brahma, through his creation only, as I told you, like Shatarupa and Manu, from there started the entire progeny. And it went on happening, generations together. But who's the originator? It is he. So he becomes the father, the grandfather, the mata, pita, pitamaha, everything. Two things we must infer from this shloka. What I feel is that see, we should give importance to our parents because they have brought us up. Through him, who are those parents? How did they bring us up? Where was the sperm? Where was the ovum? Where was the embryo? Everything came from him, the originator. That is a creator. Everything Prakriti has designed. So he actually is the seed of all the creation. That way we have to, therefore the parents are important because they mediate the creation. They mediate the creation. Therefore, parents have to be. Most often, no, not all of us. We keep criticizing. We sometimes we talk good, sometimes we talk bad. Mostly we will be telling, oh, my mother was like this, my father was like this. Of course, we do have a lot of love, respect, everything. But in spite of that, we have a lot of complaints against our parents. Yes or no? How many of you agree with me? Is there anybody who has no complaint? Zero complaint about your parents? I think Kavita has not joined. She would have given. Padmaja, what do you feel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Jayachandra?
You're
Jayachandra?
nice. Yeah. That is because of the closeness we have with our parents.
Yeah, yeah, we
We
take
take things into granted. An example is
granted. Yes.
when we come home, we take it granted that she has cooked a very good meal. But sometimes
Yeah.
the meal is not good. We are not happy with that. It's just
We
like
are not happy.
closeness.
Yeah. We get so angry. As you said,
Yeah.
one thing is we take them for granted. We save their, and when they're alive, we do all that. When they are not there, then we understand. But otherwise, also, they could have done better. They should have done this. This is a some
In turn,
complaints
in
we
turn,
do have.
in turn, they also do tirelessly. They don't bother about that.
Yes.
Still, how
They
much we
don't
extol,
bother
they are tirelessly do it.
doing. Yes.
Mm.
That is the beauty of this flow from parents to children. And that's the only relation. So, one, therefore, if we now the relationship is two ways. One is with our worldly parents. No, we always have complaints and all. We don't do this with God. If you take Him as a father, mother, whatever. So we must try to see. We must try to see the divinity in parents. Number one, that also it's the second thing is too much of attachment. Also, if you see, no, when you become a jnani, no, you feel it was a arrangement that the creation has made. It was arrangement. I choose. If you understand how we are born, we choose. The soul chooses the right parents so that it evolves further. This is how. This is the secret behind our birth. Actually speaking, we carry all that baggage, and then we decide. It seems that Jivatma with that subtle body, it after we die, we stay there for a while. We don't know, maybe for years, for decades, we don't know when, until it finds a suitable parent. And then Upanishads say that soul enters the grain that will be consumed by the father to be, and then in that father's sperm goes the subtle body, and then it enters the womb of the mother. This is how they say the evolution takes place, and we have chosen. Actually, parental act is just a nimitta. It's just a pretext. Actually, what comes out is we have chosen our parents and we have occupied. Therefore, we should be thankful to our worldly, I mean, this parents who belong to us in this birth. Like that, we have had different parents in different births. So sometimes we become so much attached. This statement will help us to take out that attachment also. It will tell us that I am actually the Pitamaha. I am the Mata. I am the Pita, Mata, Dhata, Pitamaha, great grandfather, grandfather, everything. So respect them, take them. Do not have over attachment. We have seen, because what happens is, if I come to ground reality, no, our over attachment, if it is there towards parents, it becomes very difficult. We must acknowledge, but too much of attachment becomes difficult to manage the entire system, particularly in Indian system, to the boys, to the girls after they get married. That attachment will make them take some wrong decisions. So you must be aware that this is, uh, I mean, we have to be very matured in handling our parents. And when worst comes of it, no, that time you must say, okay, I am doing my job and I trust God. God is my, I'm telling this upfront. In the true sense, it is the Parabrahman who is our real parent, who is our real parent. Another perspective of this is when we develop a relationship with God, we can consider him as father, mother, or grandfather, whatever relationship you are familiar with. We can, in fact, use that and build up. These three things I thought, one or two they have told, but I thought we can look from this angle also. And Vedyam, I am the one which should be known. Don't run after this, that, and all. Adi tilkobeku, id tilkobeku. No. Understand me first. Because Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna says, knowing this, and Upanishads also say, knowing him, everything will be known because he is the consciousness. Once you start going towards divinity, you would have experienced this, and I am also experiencing lot of complexities in our own subject areas of working. They become simplified because you are more connected to the divine, and knowing that everything that is a storehouse of all the knowledge in this world, whatever knowledge is there, it is there in him. So he says, Don't run after small, small things. Know me, and then you will know everything. This is what Upanishads say, and it has been told by Swami Vivekananda also. But again, as I said, we must have consistent efforts towards understanding God by various ways. It's not only the scriptures, it's through actions also. Through actions, selfless actions, also the knowledge will come. Vedya means understand me. How? Karma Yoga is also a way of understanding. So, Vedyam, Pavitram Omkaram. Omkar. Omkar, you know very well. Chanting Om is definitely a very, very, he is that Om. He says, I am the Om, I am the purifier, and I am also the Vedas. Whatever you are thinking, I am there, and I am the one truth to be known. Vedya means I am one truth to be known. So in this shloka, he talks about relationships and knowledge. Previous shloka, he talked about yajna, rituals. And as I said, our yajna is what? Our activity, our responsibilities. Whatever we are doing, you're doing IT job, you're doing a corporate job, everything is a yajna. And in that job, your client meetings are Brahman, your presentations are Brahman, your meetings are Brahman, your notes are Brahman, whatever you call it, part of a process, it is him. Gati Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrit Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. So he says Gati, the goal. I am the goal. I am the supporter, Bharta, supporter. Then Prabhu, the Lord of all lords, obviously Sakshi, witness. I am the consciousness is observing. Krishna is nothing but consciousness, what we are discussing. I am Nivasaha. Nivasaha means I am the abode. Then Sharanam, refuge, ultimate refuge. Suhrut, that is friend. And Prabhavaha, the origin. Pralayaha, dissolution. Sthanam, the substratum. Nidhanam, the storehouse. And the seed immutable. Seed immutable. That means he is the source which generates, continues to generate endlessly. Immutable, imperishable. That kind of seed. And apart from that, who is he? I am the goal. I am the sustainer. I am the Lord. One most important is he is the witness. He means consciousness is the witness of all, observer of all. So this Sakshi and Nivasaha, of course, abode. So he is saying that I am the very cause for the entire existence. We talked about this, no? Existence. He is the reason for this existence. Matter is there. I'm using Swami Sarva Priyananda's words. Matter is here. Everything around we see. How do they exist? Because of me. Because of me, they are existing. And I am the refuge, I am the friend, I am the origin, I am the dissolution. Everything he has split the entire thing to make us understand how did the world start? He started. Where does it go? To him it goes. Who does the dissolution? He does it. Where do we go when we are in distress? We take refuge in him. Where do we live? Nivasaha. We are part of him. He, all the living beings and non-living beings exist in me, he has told in the previous shlokas. We are all in him because he is around. We are like floating particles in the medium of God, medium of consciousness. Therefore, Nivasaha, mentally refuge. Suhrit, a good friend, whenever we want, call him. Any friend is good. Always a friend in need is a friend indeed. Sometimes it is true, sometimes it may not be true. So therefore, we must consider him as a friend and he will be there always. That's what he's trying to say. And then Prabhavaha, Pralayaha, origin, dissolution, Sthanam, Nidhanam, Bijam, Avyayam. Avyayam is immutable. Any seed, they say when it gives the plant, no, it gets disappears. He cannot because it's the plant's life is limited. Seed, we are taking the name word seed with respect to plant. So when we sow a seed, it gives a plant or a tree, whatever, and later it grows into a tree. But after that, the seed gets destroyed. So therefore, but here this seed is immutable. immutable, imperishable, constantly. I mean, it doesn't change, rather. It doesn't change at all. It is forever like that. So that is about existence. And Sakshi is very, very important, that he is going to be he is observing. So here Sakshi Bhava also is recommended for us also, to improvise ourselves, witness everything. You will become a very good witness when you have this thought that I am the consciousness. When you keep thinking, then you will become only an observer, not a part of the happenings in this world. So many emotional turmoils, physical turmoils, everything is happening, but it's okay. It is for this body, it is for this mind, these are for my thoughts. I will step a little bit back behind this and be an observer. That is the true identity of every being, Krishna is telling. Krishna says, you are actually an observer. So when he says, I am the observer, he's assuming that we know, with our evolution, we become him, and we are his that consciousness, Sat Chit Anand, or existence bliss, whatever we call it. So therefore, that Sakshi Bhava is required. We should develop that Sakshi Bhava. We should develop an observership. It is not difficult. For a while, we can do actually. To sit in one place and then observe your own thoughts. What happens to your thoughts? Where am I heading? Why am I? This reflection is required. Very rarely we do, and very few people do that. Whenever something goes wrong, we always blame others. We blame the situation, or our upbringing, or our genetics, whatever you call it, we blame it. And somebody else is troubling me. These are all the things we do. And you close your eyes, sit back, observe what, why did I behave like that? What is this reaction due to? Then you will understand that either you have overreacted, or I perceived it. Something happened, but I misperceived it. Then you will come out of that as a wiser person. So this Sakshi Bhava should be developed by us. One part of the mind should observe the other part of the mind. This exercise will slowly take us to the realization that I am only actually, I am not part of this. This mind itself is not me. It was an illusion. I am actually an observer only. Why did I break my head? So this, I keep telling these words, the same words, because that is required, because we keep forgetting. So developing a Sakshi Bhava is extremely important to manage, to self-improve. There is no need for anything else. In fact, just like supposing there is a blind man or a lame man, lame means supposing he's got injury, he's walking with a stick. Once he becomes capable, does he still hold a stick? No, he throws it out. So all these Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana, everything, and our experiences, they take us to one stage. After that, we must work on ourselves. And then we don't need this. Your own consciousness is like a Bhagavad Gita. It will start guiding you. It's a fact. This is a fact. It will itself will start guiding you, but it will take some time. So we are in the process. So Sakshi Bhava must be developed very well. Now he says, tapamyahamaham varsham nigrhnamyutsrujami cha amrutam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna. Says, I give heat. I give heat. Tapami. Tapami means heat. Aham. Varsham. I also give the heat. And I also withhold and send forth the rain. I give the heat and rain. How does the rain happen? Only when it gets so much heated that the clouds will pour. Then I am the immortality. Amritam chaiva. Mrityuscha. I am the death. I am the being and non-being. O Arjuna, he says. So he is giving some opposites or dual words. So he says, Tapami, I am the one who is going to build up the heat. And you know very well, during monsoons or just before monsoons, when the heat builds up so much, it starts pouring. So I am the one, and I know when to give the rains. Look at that. He knows, no? Otherwise, how we can say when scientifically, when it reaches a particular temperature, then obviously the clouds. But who has designed, or when actually it should stop? Who should initiate? Just like I tell, who will be the pacemaker of the heart? Pacemaker is there. Who initiates that heartbeat? Who is behind that pacemaker? So who is behind the heat? After the heat reaches, what triggers? That is him. So he knows when it should stop. People may say it is a blind belief. Oh, everything God is doing, it is science. Yes, it is science, but it is not science alone. Something is behind the science, and that is Krishna or consciousness. So he says, I will give heat, and then I withhold, and then I send forth the rain. I am, then he says, so he is responsible for both. Again, I'm bringing so, based on Swami Ranganathan's commentary. So he is both here, rain as well as a heat. Scorching heat, my God, what a heat it is. This is intolerable. We curse that heat sometimes. But when the rain comes, then we don't say anything, number one. And we also feel this is more pleasant when it comes. Actually, both are him. He's trying to say, he's telling that rather. Immortality also is me, and death is also me. Amrita also I am there. Mrityu also I am there. Being also I am there. Non-being also I am there. So we must understand that good and bad. We must, and being and non-being means here it is manifest and unmanifest. Sat, asat. Okay. Sat means which is manifested. Asat means the cause. Okay. Manifested is sat. Now unmanifested is unmanifested means the cause, which is, yeah, that is asat. Sat means which is being, which is existing, which is the effect. So he says, I am that. Now, what is important over here is that he is there in both. So we cannot condemn that and say he's there only in the good things. He's there only in the rains. He's there only in the peace. He's there on the other side. If there are two sides of the coin, both are him. Then why he should be like this? Because we must understand, to make us understand that we are supposed to understand all dualities are in the nature. We are supposed to go beyond that. Also, it will help us accept the negativism. Negative also is there, positive also is there. People keep talking negative. People are bad. People are Asuri Buddhi. He has told that Asuri Buddhi will think about me, but he is there in their thoughts also. That is his creation. His creation doesn't restrict to only the good. His creation doesn't restrict only to the pleasant things. No. Then who created the unpleasant? It is him only. Only the level of evolution differs, level of consciousness manifestation varies. Expression varies. He is sustaining the evil, he is sustaining the good also. He is sustaining with the same chetana, same energy is happening there. Then why one person is evil, why one person is good? It is, he has given that free will and it is his effort. But fundamental is tamasic, rajasic, sattvic, or people with goodness, passion, and ignorance. In all of them, he is there. But you call him more, put more efforts, then his expression, manifestation will be more. It will be more visible. So reflection will be more. Rather, last in Bhagavad Purana, we discussed about that reflection. Reflection will be more. So he says this through this statement, he wants to say, he is expressing that in the environment also, whether it is our mental environment or physical environment, good and the bad, I am there in both of them, mind you. So when we are going through a rough phase, we must understand it is his working only. When we are going through a rough phase, it is his working. Dealing with wrong people, it is his working. But they choice is they have not evolved, and therefore probably we are facing some difficulties. But let it be. What should I do? My goal is this way. Handle them with divine consciousness, come back to your goal. But accept the fact that they are also sustained by Dhata, by Sri Krishna. त्रैविद्या मां सोमपापूतपापा यज्ञैर् इष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोके विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामा labhante. So now he says, he comes to what do the Vedas tell us. The Vedas, ritualistic Vedas, say that you should do your rituals to, in order, people do those rituals in order to reach the heaven. Okay, now he says knowers of the three Vedas. Okay, Traividya, Mam, Somapaha, Putapapa. Knowers of three Vedas, worshipping me by yajna, by performing yajna, they are worshipping me. Drinking Soma. Soma rasa is a drink which is given during the yajna. So they drink that Soma and they worship me by yajna. And then thus they have been told that they are purified by their sins. And they pray for passage to heaven. And they're reaching the holy world of the Lord of these Devas. Devas means Indra, Varuna, and all those. They enjoy in the heaven the divine pleasures of Devas. He is explaining, which we are not routinely exposed to. And I said Vedic period that was. That time they used to perform the Vedas with a particular objective in mind, that I have to reach the heaven. Why heaven? To escape this world. Why? There's no misery there. There are all Rambha, Urvashi dancing. You'll get a lot of drinks to drink, nothing to do, no work, just enjoy. But how long will you enjoy? You will enjoy. And they get this punya by doing this Vedic rituals, because during that time they chant those devas and they help them to reach there. So God is just, Krishna is just explaining that. In the next shloka he says, having enjoyed that vast swarga, tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. It is a vast world of, luxuries. I don't say happiness, it is luxuries. After having enjoyed that, kshine punye matyalokam vishanti. Once their punya gets exhausted, then they enter this world, Martyaloka. And then evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna gatagatam. Then again they come here, again they do the yajna, they suffer. Then they want to get rid of that. Then so having enjoyed the vast swarga or heaven, they enter the mortal world, and upon exhaustion of their merit or punya, and thus abiding by the three Vedas, again desiring the desires, they constantly go and return, go and return. This is a very funny thing, actually. I don't know. So basically, in the Vedic period, this was maximally propagated. What was propagated? When you are a human being, you commit a lot of sins. What is the way to get rid of these sins? You should do yajna. You should do sacrifice. It's not to be condemned, though, but it's not all. So what happens is, you'll do those rituals, you will call Deva Devatas, they will bless you because they have powers, and then also Parabrahman also blesses through them, and because they say you fulfill your desires. See, God is always there as a sustainer. Whatever you desire, he will fulfill in this way or that way, to everybody, at one time or the other. It may not happen immediately. Sometimes it happens immediately. Sometimes it happens later. So they go to that heaven, because they say doing the rituals gives them punya. And then they go there, and then they, after exhausting this punya which they got through worships, and of course they'll be doing some dana, charity, and some tapas they will be doing. It's not only those sacrifices. They'll do some good job also. And once they finish that, again they have to be taken, they take birth here in the Martyaloka. Martyaloka means Prithvi or earth. And once again they are brainwashed by these Vedic traditions. Again they do, again they go. But what is the end result of this? They keep going, they keep coming, they keep rebirth, suffering, rebirth. So where is the end? How will these people get liberation? Your thoughts, please. How do you think? What is the way out for these people? Anybody can volunteer. Anybody? What should they do? Unless they do that, they are not going to get liberation. Is this liberation, going to Swarga? Anybody?
It's just a surrender.
Just a
Surrender.
surrender.
Surrender to.
Going to Swarga.
No, going
No,
not as
surrender. Ha.
surrender to Lord. Yeah. Just
Ah,
surrender.
surrender to God.
Everything,
Okay.
everything is Him. Everything is Him.
Everything is Him. Okay. Peter, your views?
This reminds me of just eating a lot of ice cream, dieting, eating a lot of ice cream, dieting.
Yes.
That
Yes.
yo-yo
Yes.
cycle.
You feel you are getting some benefit with ice cream, but then only to come back with a sickness.
Yeah.
That's right. And Jai Chandra, you are also right. Yes, surrender is the way for liberation. So Krishna says that heaven is not the end. That's not the paramam gatim. He has told in the that's not the liberation. Though he doesn't condemn Vedic tradition, he says it has limited. I mean, getting freedom from your difficulties, freedom from your problems is true. You go to heaven, but it is not a permanent solution. Rather, you enjoy, you come back, and then you again have so many desires. It is the other spectrum of liberation. Rather, it is trapping you more and more. On one hand, you feel, as I said, like you feel you will get some happiness by going to the heaven. On the contrary, it will make you more and more trapped in this cycle of birth and death, because it will provoke the desires. The desire to go to heaven itself becomes a desire, and that as long as you have the desire, he says, Gatagatam kama kama labhante. Gatagatam kama kama means they constantly going, and gata agatam, going and coming because of their desires. On the contrary, person who actually has to go to heaven must create a heaven here. Isn't the heaven here? What is heaven? Heaven is freedom from all the problems or complications. Freedom from all the complications. How is it going to happen in this life? Krishna always, he says, and it is possible to create a heaven here. Don't we have a heaven? If you have comforts, if you have, let's take our own examples of this generation. We have lot of luxuries, we have lot of money, people, lot of means it will fulfill our comfort, basic requirements. We do have that itself is Swarga. We are healthy, it is Swarga, it is heaven, it is happiness. Now that should not be, we have to go beyond this. We already have this. Then what should we do now? We are already, should we be complacent? No. The purpose is to go beyond this heaven and go beyond this craving for more comforts and look at the true knowledge. True knowledge is creating a better heaven, because when you start going in that direction, your karmas will start withering, they start falling. Your sins will get more japa, they say. More sins will start washing away. Then your baggage is less. Then the liberation, that is the ultimate heaven. So by aiming to go to that Swargaloka, you are getting trapped. Whereas by aiming to improvise myself and going towards that consciousness or towards Krishna with devotion, that will liberate you. So therefore, the way out is here, not in the heaven. Nobody say, no gods and goddesses living in the deities, not gods and gods, deities, if you call them, none of them are liberated. If they want, even the Devatas in the deities living in that Swargaloka, they often tell, it seems, we should go to Prithvi Loka and try for liberation. They are also struggling. They also want to come here and get liberated. They do not want to be reborn again and again in the Devata Loka, because they have their own issues. So it seems Sri Ramakrishna used to say, there is ignorance in the heaven. And knowledge is here. Sekhane adnyan, sekhane adnyan, ekhane jnan. Sekhane means there, in the Swarga, there is adnyan. And ekhane, it is jnan, live here. So he says, this is the learning from this shloka, that our aspirations must be always not to live in comfort. Our bhakti should not be for getting a multi-storied building. That only is heaven, no? Multi-storied building, that is what we are aiming at. multi-storied building, having so many cars. That should not be our aim. It will only trap you. You do lot of worship, puja, punaskar at home, do lot of Lakshmi puja, no problem. Lakshmi will give you, but she will not give you liberation. She will give you a lot of luxuries. That doesn't mean to say we should not do Lakshmi puja. Do Lakshmi puja and then have divine consciousness in enjoying whatever you get, but your ultimate uh, prayer should be for liberation. It should not be to get temporary heavens like this, because once you start getting them, Lakshmi Devi, Narayana, everybody will bless you. They are gods. I'm not talking about those. The Narayana, Lakshmi also are going to bless you with whatever you ask. But unless you ask for liberation, they will not give you. They will give you all the luxuries. And that luxury is nothing but Prakriti, nothing but it will trap you. So that is not the thing we should do, but we must get on to, in the process of surrender, what is it, bhakti. And our goal should be to reach Him, to reach that consciousness. Now, my favorite shloka is अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. He says, Ananyaschintayanto mam. Persons who meditate upon me and nothing else. Persons who meditate upon me and nothing else. Me means Parabrahman. Krishna is a Sakara Saguna Rupa, personal form of Parabrahman. But actually, we are able to meditate when when God is in a personal form. Therefore, Krishna is representing any avatar we can do. Vishnu you can do Shiva also. That also is representative of Parabrahman. As a representative of Parabrahman, whatever. But persons Ananyas who think of me and nothing else, okay, and worship me through everything they do, worshipping me through everything they do, to them who are thus ever zealously established in yoga, tesham nityabhiyuktanam, nitya, consistently, always and zealously established in yoga, I provide what they lack and preserve what they have. Yoga kshema. I provide what they lack. Here, yoga means it's not in that sense, it's using different. Yoga means whatever they need, and preserve what they already have. Preserve what they already have. Yoga kshemam. That means always thinking, meditating upon Him. Can we sit throughout the day only meditating? No, it's not possible. So, whatever work we do, we consider it as His work and do with devotion. But even if we don't sit meditating throughout the day, sitting in a corner, do japa, no, if we can't, we will not be able to do. What we can still do is remembering Him throughout the day, time and again, and do the work. Remember and do the work. Remember and do the work. As I said, watching television, watching a movie, whatever, it's all His expressions only, no? Extraordinary cinema. Yesterday I saw this movie called Metro Indino. How many of you have watched that on the theater? Metro Indino. Anybody has watched? No? Nobody is watching. It's a very nice movie, very relatable to current generation. You must watch. It is so apt for all generations of this Kali Yuga. Actually, Kali Yuga means current burning. What is the burning problem today is relationships. Very, very tricky relationships. Very tricky, very confused generation. And so I was wondering what an idea the director has got. See, all this is manifestation of whenever a person exhibits extraordinary merit, think that he is there. He tells that in Vibhuti Yoga. So if you remember God, doesn't matter, good movies if you see, remember God and see what a beautiful brain, what a beautiful depiction, what a beautiful scenery, what a beautiful photography. Art is an expression of divinity. So if we remember Him all through the day in whatever we do, then it amounts to Ananyas Chintayantoma, and it also amounts to Nitya Yukta Upasate. But it is not easy. It is easy to say, but when we practice, it's difficult to remember him again and again, unless we are consciously working on that. Unless we are consciously working, but definitely it is possible. It is possible. We should try to do that. So he says, when we do that, no, then we needn't worry about our problems. Why we are worried? My daughter has to be qualified, educated. She has to get admitted in this professional college. My son has to get here. My son has to get married. My daughter should get a good job, promotion. So everything he will take care. He says, don't worry. Put your effort, surrender, and come back. And involve in other work. Don't keep worrying, because when we worry, we feel we are the ones who are controlling everything, which is not the case. Which is not your effort should be there. Not that you should not work. You should say, they are not Pultan and better. We cannot relax. I have submitted to him, and they'll be to just sleep on your couch and read some novels. No, that is not possible. You should work. But whenever you work, even if I'm working for my, let's say, son's wedding, my son is supposed to get married. If I'm doing that, then I should always remember him. I am supposed to, as per the Gita, and surrender to him. Do all those searches, whatever is possible. Again, surrender him and be relaxed. Because once we surrender, then he will take care. That surrender, complete Shraddha and trust. Surrender and trust. That trust is important. And when we trust him, no, any activity we do, and as next point is, whenever we do, it's all God's work. Even searching for marriage, also God's work. His activity, finding a good bride for him, is God's work. Because he has created, it is following a certain process, because that is his creation. So bringing him in every act will be Nitya Yukta Upasate. And here, Swamiji has told, I had read this also, but here, Swami Vivekananda's beautiful story. Swami Vivekananda, all of you know, most dedicated person. He dedicated his life as a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was chosen one. And when those days, India was very poor, and he was also, he was in poverty. Amidst that poverty, I have told one story, one incident where he wants his sisters to get married, and there is no money. And Sri Ramakrishna asks him to become a saint. He says, how dare you tell me? I have got so many responsibilities. But Sri Ramakrishna is a Trikala Jnani. He can visualize. He has a vision. And therefore he says, no, it's possible. It's possible. What is possible? You don't know anything. This is how they used to fight. So he says, go and ask Kali Mata. He goes and asks Kali Mata. But whenever he goes there, he says, Amma, give me Jnana Bhakti Vairagya. Knowledge, detachment and renunciation, and devotion. I need these three. And he comes back. I didn't ask for my sister's wedding. Ramakrishna, I never stopped you from asking. Again, you go and ask. Whenever he goes and asks, he cannot ask but these three things. And then he comes and shouts at Ramakrishna. He says, you are doing some magic. You are not allowing my mind to ask. No, I have not. It is your destiny. Be rest assured, your problems will be solved, but you are meant for something else. So Swami Vivekananda becomes a saint and his family is taken care of. This is Ananya Chittaya, because he devotes his entire life to the betterment of mankind. Second instance of Swami Vivekananda, and then we can wind up for the day. So what he says is, once he has gone, he went to the World Parliament of Religions. Before, I think, he becomes a saint and he goes there, and then he comes back to India, and he's a traveling monk. At one point of time, he is he doesn't have anything in his pocket. Some devotee buys him a ticket, and then he gets into the train, and he's supposed to go to first class compartment. But before that, he's very hungry. He's on a platform, and he's sitting under a tree. He cannot even sit on the benches. That's what the literature says, because he doesn't appear to be a classy person, and people would not want him to sit there in India. And then there comes, another person. He comes running. He says, Babuji, Babuji, He's very hungry, very thirsty, doesn't have money with him. He just has a ticket, somebody has booked, he has to go somewhere. Somebody else will take care of him there next day. But now he's hungry. So somebody comes running to him, and then he says, I have brought food for you. Vivekananda says, I think you are mistaken. You might have brought for somebody. No, no, no. I have brought for you only. I am a devotee. This has happened. It's been documented. I am a devotee of Sri Rama, and I dreamt that Sri Ram came in my dreams and he said that tomorrow you will be meeting a monk. You have to go and give him this food, all these savories. He tells what to be done, what all to be cooked, and then you have to meet him. He will be sitting on the railway station in particular spot. So he says, I have brought it for you. He says, but how do you know it was for me? He says, I have seen you in my dream. Rama has shown you. He says, it was you. So such miracles, we cannot condemn them. This, and Swamiji himself has, it seems he has narrated this story later, and that's how it's documented. So now Vivekananda's heart and soul, it beats for the people of India particularly, because there was a lot of poverty then, and he wanted to bring spirituality after the poverty was taken care. So he was struggling, and that's how he went door to door, mobilizing the youth, making them active, make them self-sustaining, and all those he started. And therefore, all whatever problems he had, it was taken care. So this means, apart from, it's not only ananyas chintayanto ma means engage in my activities, doing social service, taking care of the orphans, or taking care of the patients who are deserving without selfish motive, taking care of family or relatives, or extending beyond our circle. All these are God's activities. Taking care of the animals also, stray dogs. All these are his children. We should take care of them. We should take care to give them some shelter, or see that they are well protected, rather than pushing them, throwing stones, damaging them, hurting them. So many accidents take place on the road, and the car just hits and they disappear. So these are all God's activities. Ananyas chintayanto mam nityayukta. Always thinking that I am God's servant, I have to do his work. And so that becomes his activity. When you do that, whatever is needed for you, need it. He will not give luxuries, but you will not be thrown on roads. You will have 2 square meals minimum. You will have a good shelter. You will have respect in the society, and good health, decently good health, unless you have, so by your stupidity you are spoiled, that he will not help, that you should take care. But whatever you are aspiring for, no, that he will take care. Do my work. That's what is his expectation. So this shloka is extremely important. Ananya Chintan. At no point we should be worried. If we are doing God's work, he will take care. We should trust him. But our nature of our work and our destination should be always higher. It should move from selfishness to selflessness, self-centeredness to inclusivity. It should not be self-centered. More self-centered you are, more you will be thinking you can control, or you want others to always keep thinking about you, helping you, expecting people. That will not work. Come out of that shell, and let's try to be selfless. That is his work. With that, he will take care. So they say, to get what you need and have not got is yoga in this context. Okay, yoga kshema means, yoga means whatever you want. So yoga means to join, right? So you will be joined to, or you will get what you actually need. You need this at this point of time. Supposing I'm bedridden, there is no one to take care of, somebody will come and take care. You have heard of this Gora Kumbhar, Bhakta Kumbhar? He was a potter, and he breaks his vow. He's there's a big story, you can watch that. And because of that, he cuts both his hands. He only cuts. You watch that movie in Kannada, it is there. I will share. There's subtitle also. So somebody has to take care. He has taken a vow that he will not touch his wives. He has 2 wives. So there is some person. This is all documented again. Happened about the, I think, 16th or 17th century. I think somebody comes and he says, I have come to take care of you. He serves him. He takes care of him. And that Bhakta Kumbhara is a proper bhakta means um, he is mad after Vitthal, mad after Vitthal, mad after Krishna. So that there's somebody who comes, who takes care of him till he gets better. In the end, actually, his hands grow. That's what they have shown. And then that man disappears. Then this Bhakta Kumbhara understands that it was none other than Vitthal coming in a human form. So we hear such stories, even if they don't happen. I feel somebody among ourselves, they start helping you. You need some help, and it comes from nowhere. And you know those people, but things happen. They do happen. Experiment this. It will be properly verified, validated. That is why he said Pratyakshavagam. Class we said it's a verifiable science. This spiritual science, Krishna's words are very much verifiable, provided we have faith, we trust him, and we surrender him. So Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nityaviyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. I think next I wanted to finish actually 26th shloka. It's okay. I think we can take one or two interactions and then continue in the next session if you are okay. It will take another. I wanted to finish this chapter in the next session. It won't. We'll need another 2 sessions. All right. So there I stop. And any questions or any additions, any suggestions, your thoughts, please. Anybody wants to add anything? Peter, can start from you. You would like to add something?
Thank you for this discussion, Pratibha.
Thank you.
Thank you for this discussion.
Welcome.
These are beautiful passages. I love just the rhythm of them, the repetition of aham.
Yes.
He doesn't. The poet doesn't need to use aham because the verb has the conjugation, the y, but we get the aham again and again to reinforce that all is Krishna.
Yes. Yes, that is true. He says aham, but then, yes, that's right.
So thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Jayachandra, any thoughts?
Yeah, I just remember this. I mean, looks like a continuation of not claiming for the doership, not being a selfless, and not claiming for ownership. It's like you are doing nothing. You are just doing your duty. That's all.
Correct.
Yeah, you have children. You take care of the children. Yes. Fine.
Yes.
You just give them good school, good this one. Rest of them, leave it to them. Leave it to Lord.
Leave it to correct. Yes. Leave it to me. That's very correct.
And ownership, everything is these days are temporary. You have a daughter, they get married, and they take care of another family. Only we are worried about that.
Yes.
So just something like that. I just compared today's
class.
Correct.
Very correct. Yeah. Not to worry about that we keep worrying. Actually, that's our drawback. Especially in Indian scenario, we keep worrying for generations. We keep worrying about our children, grandchildren, their children, if we're alive. Very, very true. So we should not be worried. Very true. Yes. Anybody else? Padmini, Suvarchala, Padmaja, anything?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Please.
So what is this concept of Swarga, heaven and hell, that is practiced by so many beliefs across the globe? But according to our religious beliefs, we never think, or we don't worship God telling that we want hell, we want heaven. We are more longing for that consciousness, realization. So what is the difference between these two things? We are not actually looking for heaven here. We are looking for something that connects us to the God directly.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between these two?
These two. Yeah, very good question. Other faiths will keep it aside at the moment, but in our faith also, in Vedic tradition, heaven is, if you believe that there is a Swargaloka, there is. Bhagavad Purana also says, physically there are 7 lokas, physically. If you believe it, you can. Otherwise, it is up to you. There are 7 lokas above, 7 lokas below, they say. Below is Patala, that is considered to be hell, where the life is not going to be smooth. And there are a lot of stories which say that how Mahabali was sent to Patala Loka, how Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu were there in Patala Loka, whereas there were Indra and all live above. This is one explanation. People want to live, don't want to go to hell. When you commit mistakes, you go to Patala Loka after your death and you suffer. When you do good job, you go to heaven because you have done. This is a basic funda which has been told since time humanity was there, or Vedas and all were there. But you can also, if this one you want to believe, you can believe that you will be after death, you will go and enjoy in that place which has got so much of comforts. The other way of explaining the same thing, which some commentators have told, even if you don't believe in heaven, people want to live a comfortable life, luxurious life. I want to live like a king. This is an average common man's desire. Very few want to get liberated. What you told just now, you want moksha, you want to be conscious. This is very, very less, whether you accept or not. This is not what everybody wants, Padmaja. You go and take a questionnaire and interview 1,000 people. You may find only 5 or 10, says Krishna. Sahasreshu, he says. So many people, very few aspire for moksha. You ask everybody, today only you are, what is that you're looking for? I want to be happy. What makes you happy? Of course, dollars, of course, money, of course, car, of course, house. And what is this? This, according to them, is heaven. Let's get this now. Let's forget about Indra deities and all. What we want heaven, we want luxury, we want comfort. For them, heaven is creating a luxurious space for themselves where they can do whatever they want. They have power, and there is nobody to question them. This is there. Particularly, let's talk about Kali Yuga only. What do you do for that? I work very hard and I pray God to give me this. So this is one form of a Vedic ritual. You can take it like that. I go worship. I do this puja. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಿಗತ್ತಂತೆ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಸಿಗತ್ತಂತೆ. And if you do with lot of shraddha, it will happen. It will happen. I want, oh God, it has happened. Hard work and praying God. There is a Visa Balaji temple in Hyderabad. Have you heard? Have you all heard about this? Visa.
Yes,
If you
correct.
go and do chakram there, circumambulation, this pradakshina, you will get visa. No, and Krishna also has told 4 types of bhakti in our previous session. I'm still okay because you're coming to me. But what is your goal? Your goal is to get money. Okay, be happy. Anta kotbidtana avanu. That is the heaven they are looking at. But what happens is their hard work, that is punya, hard work, and they may be doing good jobs also, and they're praying with full devotion. God, give me a seat abroad, give me a seat in Masters Agbeku, give me a seat in Amazon, give me a seat. Ella ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That is heaven for them. And until what time? Until they complete their punya again. And during that, what happens? They are egoistic. They commit mistakes. Again, they fall. That fall is in the same life. It is similar to Martyaloka. This is Swargaloka, that is Martyaloka. Let's not differentiate. On this place itself, you can have both the suffering, heaven, suffering, heaven, suffering. So it keeps going this way, that way. And after death, what happens? They might have desired so much in the next birth. They may be born to a luxurious family. We never know, depending on their punya and their prayers. Their prayers. I want next birth, I should be born in a very rich family. And he will be born there. That is again a heaven for them. This is another way of explaining this part of it. So until that man or woman desires to have moksha, this will keep happening. Next birth, again, she'll be born in luxury. More desires. No, okay, take it. Again, you will be born. So you'll keep on getting into the cycle of birth and death as long as you continue with your never-ending desires. That's why this doesn't necessarily mean going to that Swarga. It means this. But if you start with consciousness, aiming at, getting better, going towards Krishna, manifesting divinity, then in the next birth or even in this birth, you will start linking with people, or you might have seen like AI, it's just like AI. On the YouTube, you'll start observing some, whatever you observe, it will start feeding you with a similar type of post, isn't it? So Here also there is an AI only. So more and more, if you when you start meeting, you will start meeting people who will direct you more and more towards that goal which you are desiring, towards that consciousness, towards that liberation. That is your path. That is their path. So they are like, what it says, gata agatam kama kaman. That is what he says. Keep desiring, keep coming, enjoy. Krishna says it's your fate. They are still, and they're all rajasic, tamasic, more of tamasic only. But of course, they may be hardworking, but or they may be rajasic people who still have not understood completely what they are actually supposed to do. The day that dawn happens in their life, then their directions will be different. This is the explanation. This is another explanation according to the Jnana Kanda of Veda or Upanishads. This is what they say. But we cannot deny the existence of other lokas where the subtle body is supposed to go and enjoy. That is what is told in Puranas also, and Krishna is mentioning in this. So obviously there should be a loka where you want to just have complete again luxury. Just want to enjoy. Just want to enjoy. Enjoyment becomes, actually I wrote that statement, I think. If that enjoyment becomes your goal, then nobody can liberate you. You are like trapped in the net of birth and death. If enjoyment is your goal, if true happiness or bliss is your goal, then the cage which you are already trapped, it starts giving way. You start finding way, and one day you get liberated. So this is the explanation of heaven and moksha. I hope I'm clear, Padmaja. About other faith, I'm not clear, Padmaja. I would not rather like to comment, but in our Vedanta, heaven and hell, all are his creation only. I have created everything. Depending on your karma, either you go there or go here. It's your choice. Whatever you choose, I'll support you. But this jnana he will give. He'll expose all the paths. You take whichever you want. Yeah, is that convincing, Padmaja?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So we should take a call, and I don't want that heaven. Let me be born again here and evolve myself, because you should be born here till you get moksha. So that way, that birth is required until you get moksha, but not the birth of that kind where you take birth to enjoy. Again, do something, go to heaven, come back, do something, go to heaven. That kind of birth and death we do not want. That is the whole meaning.
I think, ma'am, nobody has come back to tell what is heaven or hell.
That's why Krishna has come, no, Padmaja? Krishna is fulfilling that. Since nobody has come, Krishna is fulfilling, and we should trust him. Yeah. Maybe you, even if you go, you cannot come back with memory, Padmaja.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
memory will be there. Yeah. That
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
beauty of his creation. The beauty is that only. But
So
we
basically,
can.
he's trying to move towards higher thoughts, higher awakening, more like realization of
Yes, yes,
the consciousness, ultimate
yes, yeah,
consciousness.
yes. He wants us to think about that. That is a true heaven. That's what he says. Yeah, Padmini, anything? Kavita?
Ma'am, gati exact meaning what is, ma'am?
Gati here, Gati is the goal. Gati means also speed, direction, you can say. In this,
Okay. To this world, I am the gati, he says, no?
I am the
So,
Gati. Goal. Supreme, I am the goal.
goal. Okay.
Yeah, that is what Swami Ranganathananji has given. I am the Gati. Any other meaning is given? I am goal, he says. Gati hi goal. That as a Gati. Yeah. Actually, Gati means also the speed or pace or whatever. But here it refers to Gati, goal.
Goal.
Yeah,
Okay.
the supreme goal.
Ma'am, one more doubt I was getting. I mean, morning I thought I should ask you. Uh, Sage Vedavyasa has written Bhagavad Gita, no, ma'am. So he has mentioned in many shlokas which this uvacha will be there, no? That word
Yeah,
uvacha.
yeah.
That Uvacha
Uvacha
he will
means,
say when Sri Bhagavan Uvacha he'll say no ma'am, but
yeah.
Why he didn't say that Sri Krishna Vacha? I don't know
He
why.
wants, Allama, he wants to call Krishna as Bhagavan. Why he should not call? You tell me.
No, actually, there
He's,
Krishna was saying to Arjun. So, why
yeah,
maybe he's Trikala Gnana. That's why he has
yeah,
told.
yeah.
Maybe he's
Krishna himself says, among the sages, I am Vyasa. He says. Vyasa is
huh.
also considered to be an incarnation of Vishnu,
Yeah.
Parabrahman. Among the 24, Vyasa is also one of them. Yeah.
Yes,
May
ma'am.
not be, but Krishna Avatara is the highest avatar, they say. So every avatara amsha, no, the intensity may not be as much as Krishna. Those are seen in Dashavatara. But otherwise, there are 24 avatars. So Vyasa, Kapila. The Kapila is, of course, Vishnu only. Among Rishis, he says, I'm Vyasa. So Vyasa had a deeper this thing. He was Trikalagni. So he calls Krishna as Parabrahman. No? So he says Bhagavan. There's nothing wrong. He's giving how Arjuna is addressed as Partha, Kaunteya. So many words he uses. No, Krishna addressing Arjuna in
Yeah.
different ways. So Vyasa, that is not. That's quite normal. Rather, with respect, he says. Bhagavan, he says. Bhagavan Uvacha. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anything else? Kavita, Padmini, Chaitali? Not, we can wind up. Kavita, anything you want to ask? Kavita?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, done. Okay, all right. So we'll wind up for the day. Shubha, Padmini, if nothing is there, we'll go ahead.
No, ma'am.
No,
Nothing
all
to.
right. Okay. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियं वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभाव करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ पापोऽहं पापकर्माहं पापात्मा पापसम्भवात् त्राहि मां कृपया देव शरणागतवत्सल अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष रमापते ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु Thank you, everyone. Have a nice week ahead. And day after tomorrow is Guru Purnima, Vyasa Purnima. It is supposed to be the birthday of Vedavyasa. So let's all remember him on July 10th. It is Vedavyasa Purnima or Vyasa Purnima or Guru Purnima. That day you must remember all your teachers, and let's all remember Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. He is a guru of all gurus. So we shall remember him. Every day we should remember. We are remembering that day is a special this thing for Guru Purnima. So happy Guru Purnima. May all our gurus bless us with the true knowledge which will take us beyond all this samsara, I should say. All right. Okay. See you next.